Hey there, my friend, Keala Kanae here, and in this video, we're going to talk about, maybe you're worried that your remote team isn't working, and how do you fix it, right? That's one of the questions that I've been getting. And the good news is that I've been running a remote team now for the last couple of years. That team's been as much as 60 people wide, so I've got lots of insights to share with you on how to make sure that they're doing their job. So let's go ahead and dive in. Hang with me here. All right, so is my remote team actually doing their job, and how do I know, right? And so the first thing that I'm gonna share with you is a little tidbit of value that I got from Keith Cunningham. So I don't know if you've ever been to Keith Cunningham's event or heard of Keith Cunningham. Keith Cunningham is the rich dad from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki. But I was at his event recently, and one of the things that he said and pointed out is that growth and control are opposing forces. Write that one down. That one's really important, right? Growth and control are opposing forces, he said. And then he went on to say, I bet that I'm in a room full of control freaks, right? Because it's 150 entrepreneurs in the room as he's doing his, this was his 4-day MBA, which I would recommend. It's a great course. So anyway, the first thing I'm gonna say is stop being such a control freak, right? Because growth and control are opposing forces. And again, what we've found to be most effective is giving the team the freedom and autonomy so they know that we're not managing their time, we just manage to a certain set of numbers, and they're okay with that because on some days, they might not have to put in a full 8, 10, 12, 16-hour day. But on some days, they are gonna put in that amount of time and they're perfectly okay with it, right? So my team has, what we found is that my team is willing to go above and beyond the call of duty because they appreciate the fact that they're able to work from home, that they're able to be around their families, that they have that freedom and autonomy. And that when I do ping them at 9 p.m. at night or 11 at night or 1 in the morning, whatever it might be, most of the time they jump right up and get up on it. They'll answer whatever question if something is critical in the business. And if it's time for us to get up at 1 in the morning and put out a fire, we've done it before. Which is more than I can say for most businesses where they're being micromanaged and they feel like they have no life whatsoever, right? So giving the team the autonomy will create a better culture. Now, my question to you is, does it really matter how much time that they work? Or is it more important, or are you using that as a way to measure whether or not they're doing the work? And what's really important to you is, do we generate X amount of revenue and do we generate X amount of profit? I'm gonna assume that ultimately your goal is X amount of revenue and X amount of profit, right? Because otherwise, what's the point? Does it really matter to you? If you could make the same amount of profit if every single team member on your team worked 1 hour versus 10 hours, wouldn't you be okay with that, right? Or do you just want to be a slave driver that just drives them insane and tries to squeeze every last ounce of energy out of them, okay? So I think it's more important to drive towards critical metrics, right? So we talk about, in our business, we have critical metrics. I'm going to talk about that. And we also have a way of reporting those metrics so that everybody can see, so every team member knows how they are being measured, and they know that somebody on our team has optics on it, okay? So in marketing, right? They have a certain amount of leads per day that they have to hit, right? As one of metrics. There's multiple metrics. There's more that I'm going to explain here, right? But that's one of the key ones. And then front end sales per day. So how many customers are they generating per day? A customer for us is somebody that comes through one of our online sales funnels and buys one of our products from us on autopilot through an automated process. They buy a product from us. That becomes a customer. My sales team will then reach out to that customer and see if we can generate, sell them more of our products or services if it's a fit. So my marketing team is primarily at the highest level responsible for these two things. Are they generating enough leads per day for us to be profitable and enough new customers per day for us to be profitable? Okay. Then sales, right? Appointments per day and average appointment value So how many appointments are they getting per day? We know exactly what every appointment that we put on their calendar is worth. And they have to maintain an average value. So that tells us how well they're performing for every one of those calls that they get on, and how many are they taking every day, right? Operations. We're gonna say ticket response time. So how quickly are they responding to our customer support tickets? We have a number that we're aiming for every day. Now keep in mind, the support desk is only available 8 to 9 hours a day. So there's 15 to 16 hours a day that we're not available. So we have a goal for our ticket response time, which minimizes the refunds and increases customer happiness, right? With accounting, we have a cap on what we spend for customer acquisition. So we have all of these things that we're measured to, and what we do, that the team is measured by. Now what we do then is report these out via dashboards, okay? Now dashboards can come in one of many different forms. There's dashboard software that you can put together, that you can plug in with different tools that will connect with different tools over Zap or over Zapier or API. One of the ones that we've used in the past somewhat effectively is Clipfolio, right? So that allows us to plug into Infusionsoft, our Facebook ad accounts, our close.com, which is the software that we use for our sales team, that sort of thing. And it'll pull all the data from there and it'll show us how well these are all reporting, or how well these teams are performing. Another one that we'll just use is spreadsheets. Just plain old Google spreadsheets, not sexy, not cool looking, super easy to put together though. And then we just zap the data from the different places, right? So from close.com, which is the software that our sales team is using, we'll zap it into a spreadsheet when an appointment goes on the calendar, so we can show exactly how many appointments are being scheduled every day. Or when a front-end sale comes in, we'll zap that data into the spreadsheet so we know how many front-end sales came in. Or we'll even zap the front-end sale into a Slack channel where my team knows, hey, when something pops up here, call that person, welcome them to the company or whatever, make sure they got their login details and that sort of thing. And that makes sure that we minimize refunds. Another one that we've used is Graphly. Now that is one that's an Infusionsoft specific tool. So Infusionsoft is the logic engine behind a lot of our business. It is a very robust, very complex CRM, can be very confusing. So it just depends on where you're at in your business growth before I'd recommend it. But we use a piece of software called Graphly right now that lays a lot of this stuff out in a very nice tables and charts so we can see how the team is performing. So in other words, you have your KPIs, or your things that your team needs to hit. That needs to be reported out on some sort of dashboard. So it's reporting out. Your team's not having to go look at every little thing to find out what's what. It's reporting out onto dashboards, okay? And all the team members of these teams know that they're being measured based on what's being reported on those dashboards. So they know exactly how they're being measured. My sales team knows exactly how many appointments that they have to have every day at a minimum, and what their average appointment value needs to be if they want to be able to stay on the sales team, right? My team knows exactly what our ticket response time needs to be. If it goes above and beyond that, somebody's probably not doing their job correctly, and I'm going to come poking around and looking. And we know exactly how many leads we need to generate every day for us to hit our company goals, and exactly how many customers we need to generate, new customers we need to generate every day in order to hit the company goals. And everybody knows where all the dashboards are that are reporting it, so they know exactly what I'm looking at to ensure that they're being effective. Again, doesn't matter if they work 2 hours a day or 20, as long as they're hitting the numbers and they're being effective. So when asked the question, I'm worried that my remote team isn't working, how do I actually fix that? Reporting, dashboards, reporting, KPIs, making sure that they know exactly what numbers they're being measured by and where they can find those numbers. So if my team comes and looks at this and goes, oh my gosh, yesterday we only generated 100 leads instead of 200. Uh-oh, I know that the exec team is going to see that. I better go do my job. And here's what will happen is oftentimes we'll have the team members reporting out, because they know that the information is reporting out, they will come out and say, hey, just want to let you know, yesterday we did not do good on lead generation. We had an ad account that went down, or whatever the case might be, or we had a funnel that went down, or one of the servers went down and our pages weren't loading for a little while. So I just want to let you know that in advance, but we're working on it. It's fixed, blah, blah, blah. So before I even go looking, they're letting me know, hey, yesterday's numbers weren't looking so good, but don't worry, here's what happened, and we're working on fixing it, right? So it's building a self-managing system. Because as entrepreneurs, do we really care about the time, or do we care about the outcome? I don't care how much time is needed. I care about the outcome to achieve it, right? Or the outcome that we want to achieve. And then the time, and then with the proper reporting, it manages itself. So hopefully you got some value out of that. There is some other videos around here. By the way, click subscribe, turn on notifications, make sure that you drop a comment down below. Let me know, was this helpful? Did you get value out of this? Do you want more help along these lines? What other questions can I answer? And in the description, there will be a link to a free Facebook group that you can join for entrepreneurs, where I answer questions, I help you with marketing and sales advice and all these sorts of things. It's a completely free Facebook group to join, and there's tons of additional value in there as well that you won't get anywhere else. So you'll find a link to that in the description. Make sure that you add yourself to the Facebook group. You will have to answer a few questions so we know who you are and how you found us. But you will be approved usually within about 24 hours. So connect with us on Facebook. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Make sure you get access to all our future videos that we're dropping here on this YouTube channel. And I look forward to being of service to you in the future. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.